Actually, I like it a lot. I was very surprised by the organization, the large venue, the diversity of the participants, and also the talks. Actually, I learned quite a lot about different things. And also, I'm quite happy to see all the vendors and partners here. So it's nice to have this combination of talks and more like industrial feelings. I would say the most interesting part, would be the even though it hasn't happened yet, but I would say the roundtable discussion will be quite interesting because the coverage of topics is quite wide and there are quite a few interesting topics. I think it will be a very much free form to get people's input. As it's more informal, I think people can talk more freely there. Well, big data is more like the very fundamental thing for the company. We basically use it everywhere, whenever, wherever we can use it. And as GoEuro, we are selling travel product. We use data to, for example, understanding our customers' needs, trying to understand how we can optimize our inventory, our product to satisfy their demand. So I would say the challenge comes from the technical perspective, but actually from the organizational or like mentality level. Basically, I mean, from the past, people haven't been using big data that much. Now we're really shifting to big data technologies to shift to more data-driven organization. I think it's more like the mentality shift has to happen. Then technological advancement can kick in with the real effect. At the moment, definitely no. That's why all the companies are trying to hire as hard as they can, as many as they can. But I'm not sure if this will still be the case in 5 years because of the development of machine learning, all the automated tools. We will see how the industry will change in the coming 5 years or 10 years. I would say, on the big picture, I would say open source will still keep taking over or dominating the field. But for certain applications or domains, when some companies are building very specific services on top of open source stacks, I think those two parts will coexist, but then they will basically tackling very different parts of the market. For example, if you're in, let's say, defense industry, of course, lots of technologies will be built upon open source things, but on top of that, you will have the more secretive, more stealth part. I'm not sure, I'm quite sure that kind of things will not go into the open source direction. So I would say this is a good question because I think many aspiring data scientists are asking this question, and now we're really getting rid of the conventional definition of data scientist. As it was in the past, people say, oh, you have to get a PhD in a more quantitative field, probably computer science, machine learning. But nowadays, we're really opening up to people with very diverse background, physics, mathematics, sociology. I think data scientist is more about the mentality, how you see the problem, see the problem from the data perspective instead of from more engineering or product or market driven approach. So I would say everyone can be a data scientist, and the educational resource or materials are getting more and more richer online and freely available. So yes, I think this is the future. So if people want, people can be data scientists.